Right now, we're putting the spotlight on the auto space, in specific Bajaj Auto. The company came out with a very steady set of numbers for the fourth quarter once again, and the margin continues to be above 20%. I think it's the sixth quarter in a row. But what's the outlook ahead? The issue is growth and the top line. Let's discuss this with Jay Kale, Executive Vice President Research at Elara Capital. Jay, great to have you on. And that's the thing, right? I mean, it's fantastic that Bajaj is managing to hold on to its margins. Great. But what about growth? I mean, I think numbers for this year, top line is up about, 5.5% or so, 6% nearly. And the last couple of months, in terms of just the sales volumes, they've been patchy. It's if anything, it's actually exports that have been driving the performance. The story is quite turned compared to where we were, say, 2 years back. Your sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Good morning. We've seen, in terms of margins, if I have to look at Bajaj, I think probably very few companies who are so resilient in terms of margin delivery, especially in the last 1 or 2 years. So I think that seems to be one thing that Street would be taking for granted, that 20% margin is a given for Bajaj. Yes, the top line is an issue, especially in the domestic motorcycle segment. Now, what has happened in the last 1 year is that in the two-wheeler industry, a majority of the growth for the industry has been led by the ICE scooter segment, where Bajaj is absent, whereas motorcycle segment in the domestic market has kind of been muted. And within that also, Bajaj has lost some bit of market share. So I think that market share loss in the motorcycle segment also continues in the last few months, and we need to see when that gets arrested. Management did highlight of certain new launches coming in, where they believe that will aid some bit of market share gains for them going forward. They've guided for an above industry average growth for themselves in FY26. While that needs to be seen, the new launches need to be key. The problem with them has been that Freedom CNG bike, where a lot of hopes were built in for market share gains in the last 8-10 months, hasn't fired as much as expected. So that has really tempered down expectations for the domestic growth, and I think it's the exports which will be give them the cushion of overall volume growth, as will the three-wheelers product interventions that they'll be doing.
Jay, sorry, just to come in over here. What is your estimate for volume growth, domestic motorcycles for Bajaj? Maybe, I don't know, first half or full year, maybe full year is too long. But give us some sense. What are you expecting in the next couple of months? Pure volume growth on domestic motorcycles, the bread and butter, the big domestic business.
I think, our growth estimates are more on the full year side. So we're expecting around 4 to 5% motorcycle growth for themselves. Largely in line with the industry for FY26. And of course, what will also drive growth for the domestic two-wheeler for them is the EV Chetak. EV two-wheelers, I think they've been doing pretty well. That growth will be much higher than this, but overall domestic motorcycle segment will be in the mid-single digit kind of growth rate for them.
Jay, stay with us. By the way, we'll of course speak with the Bajaj Auto management a little later on the program.
Very quickly, going back to Jay. Jay, you were just talking about this, that even for Bajaj, you were saying it's not so much the motorcycles, but maybe the EV side. Chetak is going to, drive volumes better this time around. Come in on Ola. I don't know if you have coverage on the stock or not, but it's just not getting better for the company. What's the advice?
I mean, we don't have official coverage, but our view had been, even 1 year back, that we had written a note that the incumbents, at that point of time, had not ramped up the distribution network as well as their product portfolio. And once that happens, obviously there will be some shifts of market share happening. We have seen TVS and Bajaj ramp up quite well on the EV two-wheeler side, as has kind of Ather with its strong product positioning. But I think TVS and Bajaj, our view is that they will outperform in terms of EV two-wheeler growth rate going forward in the next 1 to 2 years. I wouldn't be able to comment specifically on Ola, as it's not on the official coverage.
Okay, you told us that for Bajaj, expect about 4-5% growth for the motorcycle business this year. What about the overall portfolio? I mean, what is the total top-line estimate that you have for Bajaj? Because the margin is not a problem at all. We're only discussing top-line growth. So what are you expecting this year?
Yeah, I think, double-digit growth for the exports. So that Bajaj does get a decent amount of almost half of its volumes and revenues coming in from exports as well. So I think that will kind of push up revenue growth to double digits for Bajaj. And with stable margins or marginal increase in margins, you could expect a healthy mid-teens kind of an EBITDA growth for Bajaj.
Your top pick, since we're discussing two-wheelers, very quickly, top pick or picks in the space?
TVS Mahindra, followed by Maruti and Bajaj.
Okay. All right, Jay, I got that. Thank you very much for joining in. So that's a lowdown on the auto space and some ideas going by the earnings analysis that we've got for you.